Way, hello viewer. Today it's a Wednesday. It is a July the 5, 2023. I am Mr. Brown, and I trust you are all doing very well today on this evening stream / podcast. We are discussing a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But before we begin, you can find us here on the YouTube, or if you prefer your entertainment in the podcast form, we are also on Spotify. The links are in the description. So if you've not shut down for the evening, as I always say, lots to get through. Well, there isn't. Shall we get the guests out? I think we should. Hey, Mega Geek. Hello.
Hello. All at once.
All at once.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Oh, dear.
Uninspired reviewers back, everybody. Hello, Uninspired.
Hey, Mr. Brown. Hey, chat.
Zee-ThreePIO.
Good evening, Brown. Pleasure
How
to
are
be with you again.
today?
Very well, thank you. Busy day today.
So, obviously the boys are on vacation.
Which ones?
Ruin, the mighty Ruin Master.
Oh, Ruin's on vacation. I wonder where he's
gone. I think he's gone to Star Wars World.
gone.
And obviously not Brian. Is on holiday.
Oh, is he?
He is. Yes.
Where is he gone,
I think he's gone to Le Francais.
Oh,
Hey, nice.
cool.
I think he's trying to avoid all the riots.
That's in depends what part, is it? Because that's in Paris, is it not?
Yeah, that's over there in Paris. Like, I'm in the south. I don't really have anything.
Right.
So it's pretty
Yeah,
fine.
they're all fighting amongst themselves because they've got nothing else better to do, have they? They're moaning
Yep.
about working an extra couple of years.
This has all been instigated by the powers that be. I'm telling you, everything that's happening now, there's something big that's going to happen. We're not.
Oh, yeah, divide and conquer. Yeah.
We're not going to see
Divide
it
and
coming.
conquer.
We're not going to see it
100%.
coming. Yeah.
Shall we say hello, chat? Hello, chat. We can see you.
Hey, chat.
If there is anything you would want us to talk shite about, throw a topic over. We might see what happens, because there's no format tonight, really. As I said in the chat, there is a couple of slides left over from Sunday.
Chuck them in.
Yeah, I think it was just mainly see who turns up. Invites were sent out. Open house, really. See who turns up. So let's put some slides up. TBA number 2.
It's not a TV show, is it? TBA.
To be announced. To be.
So you're going to announce a number 2.
Yeah, it's shit. Yes, it's a number 2, folks. Well, we've always known that anyway. So.
Oh, wow. He's not even here.
What's happened here?
It's not even here.
This is good. I think I've done an extra slide, too many, but there he is. Look. It's going very well, folks.
Oh,
It's
you
the
have
news
the
round.
devil.
Oh, Christ. I've messed that one up. Here we go back to that. There we go.
I didn't realize that the Lord was quite young. He's young, isn't he? He's kind of how old is he? Is he not
12.
in his late? Is he not in his late 20s or something like that, or is he in his 30s? I can't remember what he said, but I thought he was a man of age, but he obviously isn't. He just talks that way, doesn't he?
It's the accent and the voice. That's what.
That's right. Yeah.
Mm.
A
Is it
man
like
of
a
age.
younger, more dynamic Jacob Rees-Mogg?
A man of
Well, these days you're not supposed
Unbelievable.
to say other things, are you? So it's like the nicest way to say it, isn't it? Man of age, woman of age.
I kind of roughly know how old he is, but I don't want to dox the Lord. It's not good, is it?
Well, he is the Lord, so
don't dox the Lord.
Mm.
Okay. If you have made it this far, folks, 6 minutes, and you're enjoying us cocking about, then please like, share, and subscribe. Every single click will help this channel grow. As I said, we've got to retain the audience, hence the stream tonight. As I said, a couple of the boys are on vacation, so once they are back, we'll be back to normal service. And please consider donating to the channel. Links are in the description or pin message. Keeps me motivated to doing this. What we will do is we'll do the TV review stuff that we missed on Sunday. So I think this is going to be probably you and me, Zee.
Oh no.
Superman and Lois, always.
Fugly Superman.
It was a season finale, was it not?
Was it? Did Lois eat more burgers or something? Because that woman is so thin, isn't she?
No, she got a good scene too.
But she dying of cancer or something like that in the show, isn't she?
No, she's fine now.
She's fine now. She's had her chemo and she's on the road to recovery.
Oh, good.
So, Zee, what did you think to the finale?
After last week's episode, it was very much a disappointment.
Yeah.
They've converted Bizarro into a doomsday in a very, very ham-fisted way. Lex noticed that when he was killed, he regenerated, but he regenerated in a harder, more armored form. So they kept on killing him over and over again until he metamorphosized into the doomsday killing machine as we know and hate. But they did that in the comics, but it was a lot darker because originally Doomsday was a baby, just a normal Kryptonian baby, which they threw into a hostile wasteland and it was killed instantly. They harvested the cells and made a clone of that baby. And then they did the same again and again and again, hundreds and hundreds and thousands of times until it had become Doomsday and it survived every time they threw it out. But it'll be interesting to see how it develops. Now it's been renewed for season 4. So very much looking forward to that. And they've got a tighter budget, so they've got to write better stories.
I think it could have done with one extra episode.
It won't be happening soon unless the writer's strike stops, won't it? So
I think you're probably looking at 2025 for season 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
At the least.
Yeah.
Zee, I just felt, again, it just felt a little bit rushed.
It did. It was very anticlimactic. I mean, Lex came in fierce in episode 12.
He did. It was amazing.
You know, the reveal of Lex, he was so dark and he was to the point, and you genuinely think that this guy could off you with a look. And then it just went a little bit.
How are they portraying Lex? Is he a billionaire or is he just a thug? Or how are they doing this version?
He spent the last 17 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, and it's Lois's fault.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Isn't he meant to be a genius?
Yeah, but she gave testimony that put him in jail. Unfortunately, she was in possession of the wrong information, and he was in fact entirely innocent of the crimes that he was accused of.
And he got stitched up.
Well, all he has to do is apologize.
So he doesn't own like a LexCorp in the TV show?
I'm sure he does, but we just haven't seen much of it. It's literally he got out of prison and decided to walk to Smallville for 2 days.
Wow.
so
Wow.
that he could face Lois and tell her that he wants her out of the reporting business. She's no longer allowed to do this. And Clark said, "Hey, well, back off," and he just told him to shut the fluff up.
Suck a dick.
Yes, suck a bag of dicks. Here you go. Nicky Rellahan, Doomsday grew up in Wigan.
But I mean, I've only read the Doomsday comic, the one where Superman died, and I just love the idea that we didn't know where he came from, and I guess comics after that gave his origin, because I never read beyond that. Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, they gave his origin later. He wasn't actually created on Earth. He was he was blasted into space because he was the ultimate weapon. Can't be killed in the same way twice.
Right, gotcha.
And always comes back.
I just love the idea that his hand comes out the ground. he just comes out from nowhere. I just love that idea that nobody knew where he came from. So anyway, they spoiled that one.
Here you go, folks. Common people. Hello, common people. Have we talked about Liam's body parts yet?
Liam?
No.
Who's Liam?
Liam Neeson's. Oh. It's a channel in joke.
Oh, right. Okay.
When Ruin is on.
Okay.
The
normal
man who
service.
15 quick cuts just to jump a fence.
Yes. Normal service will be resumed when Ruin returns from Star Wars World. Here you go, folks. Romeo Tango November Zulu. Lex is a new leader of Sons of Anarchy Metropolis chapter. He's a complete psychopath, not particularly clever. What do you think to that, Zee?
I'll probably agree with that at the moment. We've not seen much of his intelligence or his resources apart from the weaponry that he brought to kill Doomsday. So perhaps we'll get a bit more of that. We'll get the Lex Tower, hopefully, in the next season. Get him re-established in his finances and start taking down all of his rivals to regain control of Metropolis.
Here you go, folks. Super chat again from Romeo Tango November Zulu for $5 New Zealand dollars. The show started well in season 1 and 2, but forgot why people watch Superman shows. Can't wait till they jettison the deadweight cast. Hope the writers go to. Ooh, wow.
Well, he's not pulling his punches there, is he?
What do you think to that, Zee?
Well, yeah, I kind of agree with that. I mean, they've got rid of a lot of supplementary cast members, and with the writer's strike and CW effectively expelling all of their useless stuff, we'll get some top-notch superhero cape shit.
Well, you guys said you guys felt that the finale was a bit rushed. Do you think it's because of James Gunn and all of the DC stuff, or do you think it's just because and the writer's strike too, and the CW going to shit?
Yeah, could be all that.
Yeah, I think one of the main problems here was the fact they had to tie up what to do with Bizarro after him being used as a serum for most of this season. You can't just get rid of him and say that's that. They had to do something with him, and I just thought it was a bit of a ham-fisted way of adapting the character.
I thought I felt sorry for Bizarro. He didn't deserve any of that, did he? Really?
No, but I did like the rat scene, and him chewing off Otis's ear.
Yeah. Here you go, Karanatos and Misman Alliance. That's me. I can't speak tonight. Sorry. What part could Liam Neeson play in the Superman DC universe? What do you think, Zee?
Pa Kent.
Nah. You really?
No, because he's already in the DC universe, isn't he? He's Ra's al Ghul in the Batman movie.
Batman.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I didn't think he was particularly well cast as in that role. I'm sure there's something else that we could put him in.
I don't know.
Something sausage shaped, perhaps.
Superman.
Here you go, common people, Supercock.
He could make a good Perry White.
Wonder Wanger.
He might make a good Perry White.
He might very well do. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he might be quite cool as Perry White.
He's got a new film out at the moment, hasn't he? Or
he always has. He's got loads.
He actually does have a new one out. I saw it. Well, I haven't seen the movie, but I saw.
What's it called? It's another kind of hostage type thing, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah. Well, he's been redoing Taken since Taken came out, obviously.
But
Taken 17.
He's been making low budget. Well, not low budget because he gets paid. He's been making movies slightly outside of Hollywood because they pay him a good wage and they shoot it really fast. So he says loads of movies on Amazon that he's in. It's basically him shooting people, beating people up. You know,
that's what Bruce Willis was doing, wasn't he? Until he was diagnosed.
No. Bruce Willis did it because he knew he was going to.
Oh, okay.
That. So he was just collecting a lot of money to supplement.
Yeah, I don't think that he was really selective with his roles at that point.
No, he wasn't.
It wasn't like Nicolas Cage, you know.
Yeah. So yeah, Bruce
actually has 2 movies coming out this year: Marlowe and Retribution.
No, Milo's come out already. Milo was half sponsored by Sky Movies, and I saw Milo actually. I didn't think it was too bad, but he was the wrong casting for someone like Marlo.
They wanted the name.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen the Humphrey Bogart Marlowe films. You know, he's really an anti-hero in that, but Liam Neeson came across as too goody two-shoes, if you know what I mean. So
yeah. Right then, guys. So Z, are we still looking forward to season 4 when it turns up? 10 episodes.
Yeah, when it turns up, hopefully, you know, before the end of this decade.
I think to sum up, it's a genuinely good series, but in inverted commas, when they needed to do the money shots, perhaps they've just been a little bit short, which is unfortunate. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, very much. Yeah, kind of missed the mark on that final episode. I mean, you got pretty much 12 storming episodes to go through, which is fantastic. But then you just got this last one, which just fumbled the landing.
Yeah, but it's still miles better than anything. Most things on at the moment.
Yeah, most things. Yeah,
you're right.
Okay, let's move on. Didn't a new episode drop today?
You could drop into the bin for all I care.
Yeah,
absolute rubbish. I saw one episode that was enough for me. How many times could somebody tell him off? It's just absolute bollocks. The whole thing. I can't be asked to watch this. I know.
You only watched the first one.
Yeah.
Oh man, episode 2 gets even worse because everyone's just dumb in that one.
It doesn't get any better in episode 3.
No.
I mean, Nick Fury constantly throughout this is being told, "You're too old for this. You're a stupid old man."
That's not just good.
No.
But why? But I do look. I know Marvel's. They want to destroy all heroes. They want to show them that they're weak and useless and old and stuff like that. They're playing the same record time and time again when it comes to series and movies. You know, they're not going to learn. Because obviously they believe in what they do and they want to change the world. But at the end of the day, right, it's not going to work because people are not that stupid. Do you know what I mean? So,
well, they're losing viewership. They've got like 900,000 on the first episode.
They don't care really because all they care about is their religion. It's true. That's all they care about.
Here you go, folks. Previously, just quickly going back to Superman. J.J. Gosling, Superman may have ended that way at the time because they didn't know whether they'd get renewed.
Very true.
That's very true. That could be true. Is it true?
Possibly.
Well, yeah. CW were cancelling everything, weren't they? Gotham Knights, Titans, all their Cape roster was being slashed left, right, and centre, which has probably got something to do with Zaslav. I'm thankful that Superman and Lois made it through by the skin of their teeth. But otherwise, I mean, there was always the talk that it was going to go over to HBO Max, which, on reflection, might have been the better option.
But I mean, the CW was bleeding money. They said that they hadn't made a profit, I think, in about like 3 years or something like that. And I don't know, maybe it got saved just because of James Gunn, because he
I think
liked
so
it,
as well.
probably.
Yeah, it also keeps Superman in the forefront of everybody's minds.
Yeah.
We've got this week, I think it's this weekend, is the My Adventures of Superman animated series drops 2 episodes.
Oh, nice.
So I think it's being done to keep Superman constantly in people's minds until the movie comes out. Because we've also got the animated movie War World from DC Studios, which is due to come out this month sometime. I think a new trailer dropped this week. So go on YouTube and watch that. It's very good. Do love the DC animated stuff, and Superman does play a key portion of the that story. So it's very much although it's a Justice League animated movie, Superman is the key in this particular storyline.
I think you can always tell a quality show because when I put a slide up, we talk about something else.
Yeah.
That's okay. I mean, Secret Invasion is absolute garbage. I watched the 3rd episode today. I'm getting sick to death of seeing our heroes be deconstructed.
Oh, God.
Do you know what, right? I listen to Magic on the radio because I like listening to old music. But they are definitely endorsed by Disney, and every moment they get to champion Disney, they do. Like, for instance, Ronan Keaton, he's got his own channel on Saturdays, and he is sponsored by Disney, and he talks about how great these Disney shows are. It's enough to make me want to go and tune into Smooth rather than fucking Magic, because seriously, I'm getting tired of all the adverts for Disney stuff, and I know it's shit. I know all of them are shit. So Disney is definitely trying to, I don't know, groom everyone, aren't they? Especially children. So
allegedly, but we all know it's happening. Tom Abella, I'm setting a line at 3 Secret Invasion slides that Mr. Brown has made to torture his guests. Who's taking the over under? No, it's only 1 slide, thank God.
I've never read the comics. Apparently the comic is meant to be really good, the actual comic itself, but I don't know because I've never read it. But why don't they just follow the comic then? Why
the writers were told not to?
Well, there's no point, is there? Why
But
make
I don't
it
think
then?
any of the writers, like, nobody has been told to follow a comics in a while. I mean, you have people that were employed that didn't even know how to read comics that were considered writers. Can you imagine that?
Well, the problem with following the comics is they involve a lot of the Marvel superhero roster, which tends to be mostly A-list actors. So you can't do a TV series like that. It just costs far too much money, and Disney can't be throwing money around at this moment in time.
But at least you'd have a blueprint if you follow the comic, so you can tweak your script around that and around those factors. But I don't know. They hire incompetent people. So that's the reason.
But I wonder, right, if Samuel L. Jackson read the script and realized what they're doing to heroes, or doesn't he just don't care?
I think he's contractually obligated, honestly.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, if you're contractually obligated, you can still argue your point and go, look, you know what I mean? This is garbage. Yeah, this is garbage, right? And also, if you disagree and they still insist you do it, you just give them the tiniest performance ever. Do you know what I mean? They can't sue you because of that either, you know, because they have to prove that you're not performing to 100%.
Yeah,
So
but after, doesn't that stain your own reputation as an actor?
Why would he's the most successful actor in the world? How is it going to stain his reputation?
Yeah, but I mean, they would say he's growing older, so he's just phoning it in, and maybe people wouldn't cast him for that in other things where he needs to play an older person.
The guy's got power. He can, you know, I mean, anyone worth their salt would cast him if he if they wanted to get him, they'll get him. You know what I mean? He's one of the sorted actors in the entire world.
You're right.
He's one of the most successful actors in the world now, as we speak. So you know what I mean?
Here you go, folks. Jonathan Frost for $20. Thank you, Jonathan. I know she's had medical issues, but Amelia Clark looks sickly in this show.
Oh yeah, she does.
Yeah.
I mean, she looks she looks like she's about to faint every time she's on screen.
You're not wrong.
Emily Clark, who's she again?
The one that
Sarah
played
Connor.
Sarah Connor, yeah.
Oh, the smiley girl. Oh yeah, she's always smiling, that one. She's very cute.
Not in this show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not in this show. I mean, no, bloody hell.
Yeah.
Nick Fury's unrecognizable as the Nick Fury you know and love. If you go back to something like Civil War, he's got gear, he's resourceful.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he's got vehicles, he's got a lot of stuff at his disposal. But in here, he's just going it alone. And
yeah, for no reason too, because he has the Skrulls backing him up. He was just on their ship for what, an entire year or something like that, and he doesn't call any of them for backup. It's so weird.
Here you go, folks. Johnny Lawrence's mum, she really does very gaunt and dark shadows under eyes.
Yeah, she looks like a skeleton. I'm like, seriously.
Looks a bit like a homeless junkie, if I'm being honest.
Here you go, R2. He's a Hollywood insider. Jackson buys into all the ishy anti stuff. I'm sure of it.
I don't know about that, but the thing about him is that he really does love acting, and he really does love his job, and he loves his life now, because before he used to be a druggie, didn't he? A long time ago. So, you know, I just think that I just think that he's just going along for the ride. But that's horrible, because if you care about, you know, your character and stuff, you would stand up, just like Henry Cavill stood up for the characters that he played. You know what I mean? But it might be the case that Samuel L. Jackson doesn't know what's good or bad. You know, so when it comes to characters, when it comes to characters and writing and stuff, I don't know.
I don't know. He's worked with Tarantino a lot, and he's had pretty good characters throughout his career with Tarantino. I mean, you look at Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, even Django Unchained. Yeah, Jackie Brown is like my favorite underrated Tarantino film. And
he's my favorite as well.
He's worked with him, but it doesn't mean to say that he knows what a good script is.
I mean, but he probably knows what a good character is. At least.
Well, okay. Maybe, I don't know.
Chat, question for you, chat. Favorite Samuel L. Jackson film? I will say, if anybody's watching Secret Invasion, and if it is that bad, just cleanse the palate by just watch Winter Soldier instead, or something like that.
Yep.
I agree. And I actually meant to say Winter Soldier, not Civil War. So,
how could anybody watch Winter Soldier and then think that Secret Invasion? Sorry, how could anybody make Secret Invasion not along the lines of Winter Soldier? What's in these people's head to think we want this garbage?
It's nothing to do with that. It's they actually believe that they are changing the world, and this is the way to do it. You basically, it's like World War II. Do you remember the way they got the young to join in Germany? Of course, the way they got the young to join was to actually aim for the youth, and they had pamphlets, and they had meetings and stuff like that, camps and all that to persuade the youth to join the war, the effort. Yep. And so this is what they're doing. They're basically attacking the young and attacking, people that like pop culture and stuff like that, and shoving all this rubbish in there, hoping that we will eat it all up, but we're not. So that's their plan, But I mean, gosh, I'm a man of age, so good luck to everybody when I go.
I will say the people in the chat have been giving marks out of 10 for Amelia Clark.
I'll give
Andy,
her 1.
1.
1.
Smilex 1. Karanatos 1.
Probably not at all, because the way she looks at the moment, you'd probably catch something.
Yep.
Oh,
she is not at her best in this.
Well,
Mr. Brown, it's
that's,
actually that bad. Honestly, if you take a look at her, it's
maybe that's makeup. Maybe there's a reason for her to look that way or not.
I don't know. They haven't announced anything in the show. They haven't led to anything in the show like that.
No,
but no,
I think she had a genuine, serious condition a couple of years ago. I forget what it was. I read about it somewhere, but she was really, really ill.
She had 2 major brain surgeries, actually.
Yeah, that was it. Poor girl. Here you go, folks. Favorite films. Not Brian. Pulp Fiction. Nicky Rellahan. National Lampoon was in that.
I have no idea.
Kratos, Revenge of the Sith, obviously. Coming to America. Was that his first role?
Oh, yeah, he was. He was the robber.
Yeah, that was his first role, wasn't it? Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
Great
Tim,
movie.
I like saying this. Hannah Bomb. Yeah, Jackie Brown. Great film is Jackie Brown.
I love Jackie Brown.
Andy, Pulp. Cider, Jackie Brown. Such a great film. Franco, Snakes on a Plane. Smilex, Jurassic Park. Romeo. Wow.
I haven't watched that in years.
That's going back a bit. Long Kiss Goodnight.
It's got Gina Davis in it. So one for the wank bank.
Any more? Here we go. Shawshank Redemption was in that.
That was him. Wasn't that was he?
I thought that was Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
J.J. Gosling, Guilty Pleasure is Snakes on a Plane. I've never seen it.
Really? Oh, you shouldn't. It's just a fun movie. Enough is enough. I have had it with these motherfucking snakes on this Monday to Friday plane.
In the chat, Pulp Fiction. Don't like him as an actor, to be honest, but his Mace Windu was dreadful. My Mace Windu is dreadful as well, isn't it, Z?
Yes.
Yes.
I also forgot. I also like him in The Incredibles, Frozone.
Yep.
That's a great role.
Any more?
Honey, where's my super suit?
Johnny Lawrence's mum, Pulp Fiction, though I did enjoy him in The Hateful Eight, which I have not seen.
Oh, you should. I don't know. There's a lot of mixed opinions. Some people think it's too long. I've grown to love The Hateful Eight.
I've never seen it. Perhaps I should. Okay. Coming to America again.
Only had a small part in that.
Okay. Shall we move on from this shite? We're not recommending it, are we, folks?
No.
Do something else, like, I don't know, eat your toenails. It'll be more enjoyable.
Watch paint dry, folks. Z, this is you and me, isn't it?
No, it's not me. I don't watch this.
Did you bail?
I bailed on this after season 1. It's so boring.
Oh, God. Get this.
I'll be honest with you, Brown. There's only so much Stunning and Brave that I can manage.
I'll quickly just summarise. The Noonien Singh character, which is related to Khan Noonien Singh, you know, the really tidy, fit Christina Chong, went back in time with James Kirk to the lab where they were doing experiments on the superhumans, you know, Khan, to save Khan. And she fell in love with Captain Kirk on the adventure. So it was a little bit kind of like, saving the whales type thing, but they were saving the people who were being experimented on. God, it was shite. Pike is never in the show, and he was the people who wanted. Well, he was the main reason why we got Strange New Worlds, because everybody loved him in Discovery, and he's never in the show. It's just utter dog shit. I want it to be good, and it's just Stunning and Brave, folks.
I mean, what happens to all these extra characters? Because they're not about in future series. So do they die?
Nobody's died yet this season. I know they got rid of the best, as we said, they got rid of the best character, Hemmer, last season.
Yeah, and he was a great character. And disabled representation as well. So, but I don't know why they got rid of him. He was an excellent, excellent character.
I'd love to recommend this to everybody, but it's just utter dog shit.
After Picard, this is a major step down.
Stream killer.
Well, as someone who's never seen Star Trek, well, I've only seen it a few times when it passed by on TV. The one with the, well, I don't know if William Shatner is the one that's in all of them. So that's all I've seen. What do you guys recommend? Because I actually want to get into it, but I have no idea where to start.
Zee, go on, you go first.
I personally would go for Deep Space Nine because it is quite disconnected from Star Trek: The Next Generation, which has some very ropey episodes in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But if you're willing to stick with Next Generation, it really does pick up in season 3 and goes ballistic. So that's well worth a look. But I would start with Deep Space Nine.
Are they all like interconnected?
They do have crossovers.
Oh, okay.
So you will expect to see some characters from other series appear in some of the storylines, and there's a great little crossover episode with the original series where the Deep Space Nine crew are thrown back in time to the Tribble incident from the original series, which is so funny. It's so funny.
Oh, I'll check it out. I'll give it some time and I'll watch Star Trek. Probably everything except the new stuff.
Ian, if you was to recommend Star Trek to Uninspired, what would you recommend to start first with?
I guess 60s Star Trek first, and then Next Generation. Yeah, okay. I do like what is it? The last one they did, I can't remember what Captain Archer. What was that one called again?
Enterprise.
I liked that one. Yeah, Enterprise.
I never got into that.
Yeah, it's good.
Here you go, folks. Hooligan S3 for $10. Thank you, sir. To bravely and stunningly go where every other recent Trek show has gone. Yeah, dog shit. I would say Uninspired. If you was to get into Star Trek, I would recommend the original series with the remastered special effects.
Are they like proper remastered or just remastered?
They are CGI special effects, but they are done in the style of the 1960s, and it works really well. So,
I mean, one of the things the original series was notorious for was using, or rather reusing the same ship shots over and over again. Which, when you get halfway through the first season to the second season, you think, I've seen that. So they've inserted a lot of new ship shots, planetary shots, and the remastered really does upgrade that entire 60s aesthetic to something which is a lot more cleaner and crisper. So I would recommend that.
There you go. That's some great new effects. Are decent. They are. I will say night, Brian. Johnny Lawrence's mum. TOS is the best as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I do love a good toss.
Yeah, Star Trek might be right up my alley anyways, because I'm a big fan of anything, old. Well, for me, it's old because I was, but anything from 1920s all the way till 1970s, 80s, up my alley, especially the 60s. It's my favorite time.
Here you go. Fiona M, TOS, the animated, then TNG. Yeah, even the animated series is pretty good, and it's considered canon. So, yeah, Strange New Worlds, folks. Garbage. Wanted to like it. It's the USS Enterprise, Pike. Just garbage. Shall we move on then?
Let's.
Okay. A couple of the panel weren't here on Sunday, so Uninspired, would you like to give us your thoughts on this masterpiece of modern cinema?
Yes, well, honestly, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is probably the worst movie I've seen all year because not only is it incompetent from the level of the script, but it is incompetent from a filmmaking level too, with editing so incredibly sloppy, I don't even know what the fuck is going on. The transitions are absolutely horrible, and they don't even have the decency to add, I don't know, an actual, even just a second unit shot or a stock airplane image when they're doing the map transitions like the original one.
Okay.
Even a I don't know, a miniature. They could have used a miniature. And yeah, you can tell that it was a huge victim of the rewrites and the reshoots because there's stuff that really aren't cohesive at all during the movie, even visually. You know, there's a scene where Indiana Jones, you can see it in the trailer. He's riding the horse in the middle of the parade, but before he gets on the horse, he's talking to a police officer, and the police officer just disappears from the shot completely. I mean, he vanishes into thin air. And it's like, yeah, it's that bad from a filmmaking perspective. It's just horrible. It's not even enjoyable.
Here you go, folks. Sorry, Nikki. £5. That's real money, folks. From shit to shit to shit. You know how to torment us. Sorry. Sorry. We won't stick long on this. Z, your thoughts?
I hated it. It fails on every level. None of it makes sense. It's quite ridiculous. It had all the elements in there, but they just didn't all go together. It was like it was written by an AI.
It might have been.
It might very well have been.
I'm sure it was.
I mean, I did read on Twitter earlier today that a whole segment of the Dial of Destiny was wholesale ripped from the video game.
Oh, I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis. So the entire boat scene was ripped off.
Oh, wow.
And the Voller was Klaus Kerner from Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis, which also involves discs and dials with moon symbols on. It's just unoriginal rubbish.
Here you go, folks. Hooligan S3. See, I think this is quite a good premise if it had been done correctly. Indy saving Mr. Hilter. I think that could have been really, really good.
It could have been. I think the Lord pointed out that at one point this film actually turns into Indiana Jones actually has to save Hitler.
Yeah, I think that would have been fantastic.
Well, I don't see it that way. Basically, Indiana Jones, look, if he goes back and he changes time, then basically, it's going to be the same thing. But Hitler lost the war, so he's not really saving Hitler. He's saving everybody, isn't he? So he wasn't saving Hitler. He was trying to stop him from changing the past, so it would be even worse for the future. Hitler lost, so just leave it at that. That was his reasoning. You know what I mean? So it's not that he went out to save Hitler.
I mean, it's not us being salty and just coming down on this film just to hate it.
Yeah.
The box office numbers clearly show that the public aren't engaged in this at all. I mean, who is it made for?
Nobody.
An audience of 50-somethings. Again, we've got to see another one of our heroes deconstructed, and just like the Star Wars trilogy, they're grumpy old men who've failed at life.
I mean, that's the worst part. Like you have it's not there for the original Indiana Jones fans. It's not there for people who want an adventure movie because everything is so CGI that you don't even have fun. Plus, as I said before, the editing is garbage, so you can't really follow anything that's going on. Even then, you have action sequences that just don't make sense. And when you compare it to the modern releases that we have with action movies where everything is basically practical with just a little amount of CGI, this just it there's no like justification of you going to the cinema and paying money for this.
I said that on Sunday, didn't I? KK, get fucked. Romeo Tango November Zulu for $5 New Zealand. Hail reviewer, Z's Trek advice is spot on. Start on TNG, skip all of season 1 and 2 except Measure of a Man. Then season 3 takes off. Same for DS9.
All right, I'll give it a go. Anyways, I'll probably just watch everything. To be honest,
I'm quite partial. I have a soft spot for TNG season 2. Moving on. Okay. It's not doing well, is it, Indy? It's just...
Oh, no. It's really tanking.
Both Indy and The Little Mermaid have yet to recuperate their production budgets. So it's not looking good.
Here you go. Amanda Sukov, typical Lucasfilm production from Wish. It's not that good.
But I mean, there's just big flops this year. You've even got Fast X. That was a flop because I think that ended with last time I checked, it was around 600 million or something like that, and that's still a flop because that budget was about 300 too. So it hasn't even broken even. I mean, it's just flop after flop after flop in the cinema section and even on the streaming platforms. It's the over budgeting. I think that's the main problem. Well, the main problem apart from everything being absolute garbage.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the case for all movies, though. I mean, I fully expect the next Mission Impossible film to do really good numbers.
Same.
Oh, that's going to do well.
That's my next cinema visit.
Same here. Here you go, Chronotos. Serious point here, folks. Do these Hollywood writers never visit their grandparents? They seem to think the elderly are all broken, useless pieces of crap to be either disposed of or taught a good lesson.
Very true.
That's actually true.
Sharp intake of breath there. That's spot on, isn't it?
Plus, we're also a little tired of snooty British women with brunette hair who can do everything that our heroes can't. I'm looking at you, Ray Palpatine.
Here you go, folks. Jaden Smith eyes. I agree with Brown. I think season 1 is skippable, but season 2 has some classics. That's TNG. Fiona M at Mr. Brown answers me. Season 2 TNG is better than its reputation. I agree. Yeah, I really like season 2. Some great episodes.
Apart from the season finale, which is essentially a clip show.
Yeah, because they ran out of budget.
Yeah,
that
was when the writer's strike was on, wasn't it?
Yeah, I even like Dr. Pulaski. That's probably why I like second season. Romeo Tango November Zulu for $2 New Zealand. Toss best episode, a mock time, great fun. I think even Strange New Worlds ripped that off, I do believe.
I wouldn't be surprised.
My favourite original series has got to be episode 9 of season 1, which is Balance of Terror, which is Kirk just basically doing the battleship scene from Wrath of Khan with Romulans.
Yeah, Strange New World season 1 finale ripped that off as well. That's how good Strange New Worlds is.
Bowed out halfway through, so I wouldn't know.
Uninspired, have you done a review of Indy? Are you doing one?
No, I'm actually doing one. Yeah, I got behind schedule because this afternoon, this morning, I found out that a page and a half of my script disappeared. It didn't save, so yeah,
Oh,
and
no.
an entire section, my entire section on cinematography, also like it didn't save that I had edited already, so I have to redo that again. So yeah, it's gonna be
when do we
fun.
think it's going to drop?
Oh, honestly, maximum by Sunday because after that I want to move on to Mission Impossible directly. So yeah, this weekend, 100%, it's gonna be there. I'm just gonna work overtime. So there we go. It'll be fun, and yeah, it's gonna have better production value than Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. So
All the Indiana Jones reviews, because most of them are just hate reviews, are doing really, really well on
yep, they are.
YouTube.
They are. I mean, I never really do a hate review. The only one I actually consider that I've done a hate review is my She-Hulk Daredevil episode because that one I go very angry. It just pissed me off. And but yeah, nowadays I just try and break down the plot as best as I can. Do a general breakdown. Well, you guys have seen my reviews. You know how I do them.
Hmm.
So I like being objective, and I don't know. I can't really comb through the entire plot one by one. I have to do a general analysis of the script, and I think that works fine.
Here you go, folks. Sir Culminips. Kennedy film has nothing left to ruin.
Mm.
Howard the Duck. Oh no, you can't ruin that.
Howard the Duck.
It's absolute garbage. You can't ruin that.
Didn't he sleep with Marty McFly's mom? If I remember correctly.
Let's not go there.
Ian, are we allowed to say these rumors you have about KK, or is that a bit?
No, it's I got it from a YouTuber. I think it was Mike.
Okay.
Mike Zero said it. So Mike Zero, I don't know who Mike Zero is. I just
Mike Zero, everybody.
His video. I just came across his video, and that's what he was saying. So I mean, yeah. So the rumors are that KK's leaving, and she's trying to get into the house of Warner Brothers, but apparently she's been blacklisted, like secret blacklisted, that nobody will work with her. And that's basically it, really.
I'd laugh if they. Sorry, Zee. I was just. Go on, Zee.
Yeah, go on.
No, you go.
Let's face it, she's 70 years old.
Yep.
So maybe it's just time to retire.
She got a point to prove. Nikki Rellahan, rest in peace, Mike Zeralon. I'd laugh if the only rumor that Mike Zero ever got correct was this one about Warner Brothers. That'd be funny.
But I mean, even if she gets fired, maybe she goes without pay or anything like that, I just think that, I mean, what's even the point to celebrate it? She's destroyed everything already and just gone. So unless they make whatever she did non-canon, well, already Star Wars is fucked because, well, the actors, Carrie Fisher is already gone. Mark Hamill probably won't come back at his age, and Harrison Ford too. So I mean, they've just destroyed it either way, even if she's fired.
It's not good, is it? Zee, do you know anything about this tweet?
Yes.
Yes.
Would you like to explain for the folks in the chat?
Okay. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Matt Kadish from the Salty Nerd podcast. So shout out to them. Way back in June 2021, he tweeted, to anyone thinking that Indiana Jones might be good, let me just point out, Steven Spielberg is not directing. Kathleen Kennedy is producing. Harrison Ford is 78 years old, and incorrectly he put it's written by Jonathan Kasdan, who wrote Solo. That was incorrect. James Mangold came back with the director of Indiana Jones. Thanks, Matt. Keep making the world a better place, crapping on things in its first week of production from your basement. 2, I've never seen a script from John. Nothing against him, just reality. And 3, 1 to 3 are hugely talented and all at my side. Okay. So I put, oh dear, you may believe that Rising to the Bait was a big think move. It wasn't. I hope that you can recuperate the production costs at the box office because you're going to hemorrhage audience numbers with every single bitter tweet.
That was 2 years ago.
That was
June
2
14th.
years ago, yeah. And I was right. If he's going to shout his mouth out on Twitter, you're going to expect some feedback from that.
This was what's his face? Who was the director?
James Mangold.
James Mangold.
He wasn't. Yeah. He wasn't a happy chappy, was he?
I bet he's not a happy chappy now.
Do we blame him?
Well,
yes,
really,
partially.
I blame him as well. He really should have just swallowed his pride and gone, I'm very excited for this project. We've got a lot of good ideas out there. We hope you're all on board with it. Rather than just, rising to the agitators and shouting his mouth off online. That never works well.
Here you go, folks. Black lives or black votes. Even if KK was fired, what would be the point? Lucasfilm has already been destroyed. She's won. It's pointless. Yeah, it's gone. It's all gone.
It is. I mean, you really need to clear the slate at Lucasfilm. You need to get rid of Kathleen Kennedy. You need to get rid of all the writers in the Lucasfilm story group. You've got to cancel all these useless projects like the High Republic and start again. They just don't want to do it.
But is there any point of starting again?
Well, I mean, if they want to take a break from it all for a few years and rebuild the entire Lucasfilm departments, then it might work. It might work. Get some of the expanded universe writers in, sit them around a table and get them to write a Star Wars story.
Would you decanonize anything that Disney has done? Like, I mean, what's one thing that you wouldn't, that you would leave as canon that Disney has done?
Last Jedi.
Rogue One, I'll keep.
I mean, it might not be Mangold's fault, but the thing is, though, he knew what was going on, and maybe he signed a contract and he can't talk about it. But that's one of the reasons why he hasn't said anything recently. Is because that he's under, but he knows he's made a turd of a film. He knows it. There's no.
He knows. Yeah.
There's no way you can't know that.
Is this his first, sorry, Mr. B.
No, go.
Is this his first time working with Disney, or has he made a movie with them before?
No.
He was scheduled to do the Boba Fett film.
Oh.
And that never happened, did it?
Doesn't look like.
He's a good director. I just think his hands were tied, and I probably get the feeling that he would have loved to have made a proper indie film. But I think it's just his hands were tied. He got paid. Chalk it up to experience. I don't know. What do you think?
I just think that some people have to do what they have to do in Hollywood, don't they? I mean, if you like, for instance, with Sam Raimi, he got offered a bucket full of money to do Doctor Strange. He wanted to do it the way he wanted to do it, but then KK came in and put a big size 9s all over it, didn't she? So that's the thing, you see. When you're in that position and you've signed a contract, you can't say anything. But it's so obvious what's going on that we don't really need to hear from Sam Raimi. We don't really need to hear from Mangold. But Mangold shouldn't have had that tweet out and accuse, and have a go at the fans and stuff like that. That's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't the first time he's been salty online. So you get what you dish out.
True.
Didn't he ever go to Doomcock as well?
Well, why not?
I don't mind Doomcock. I mean, some of the things I don't mind him. I think he's worth his salt. He does say things that actually has happened, you know what I mean? And a lot of people say, oh, if you put out loads of different things, one of them is meant to be right, but it's bollocks, really. He's got his contacts. Him and what's his name, Cameron Pasha.
Cameron Pasha.
Yeah, they've got their contacts. They they know what they're talking about.
I
can feel then. And plus, Doomcock comes. He does all that thing with the little thing. Was it the
rumor zone
floating around in
Harvey.
the glass jar? Harvey.
Yeah.
I think that's quite amusing. I think it's quite amusing. So I think he's quite original. He's presented his case in a funny way. So. I don't think he's that bad. A lot of people like to rail on him. No. You know what? What happens is when people get successful, that's when people want to rail on you because they don't like people being, you don't like people being successful, do they? Those kind of people. So I don't know.
No, I like Doomcock. I find him really entertaining. Really entertaining. Even though I don't really agree with what he says, I just find him super entertaining to watch. Even his production level is incredible also.
Oh, it is now. I asked the question, did anybody want Indy 5 to be really, really good? Atom Gray said it basically he didn't want it to be made.
I agree with Atom.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that maybe he shouldn't have made it.
I mean, you've seen Indiana Jones. Do you, Mr. Brown, do you think that Indiana Jones could work as an old person? Well, as 80 years old, considering everything we've seen before, do you think that they could actually make an Indiana Jones story that could work at the age of 80?
I do. One last adventure for the old boy.
Yeah, but still, it wouldn't it would be very difficult to have Harrison Ford do his stunts and everything. It would lose some
short
of that.
Round.
Yeah, it's true. You could get short
round. Sorry, Oscar winner.
No, they really passed up on that. I mean, he dodged a bullet too, anyways. So
we just wanted a decent film. If they were going to make it and milk the golden calf or the golden cow or whatever, they should have made something decent. But they just have not got the capability, and it's just the Disney way, isn't it?
Does anyone know if it was rushed, like the production in general? Does anyone know if maybe the script writing was rushed or something like that? Because I know that on set they actually had 2 injuries. So Harrison Ford had an injury, and they had to replace him for a while, which also happened on Temple of Doom actually. But yeah, then there's the 7-foot tall guy who also had he had a problem, so he had to walk in crutches for a while. So I mean, the production itself was it was plagued with problems.
Maybe it was just jinxed from day one.
It was destiny.
Here you go, folks. Yes. Nicky Rellahan for £5. That's real money, folks. George Burns at 100 moved better than Ford at 80. Wow. Wow. Okay, we'll move on.
We haven't moved on far.
Yeah. Nerdrotic covered this, so I thought we'll just quickly do it. 82 million for a 5-day total. Superman Returns apparently was one of the worst ever. And it's not that far off, so I just find it upsetting how something so beloved to a lot of people is just totally in the toilet.
But just to move on from Indiana Jones, well, since I was very, very young when Superman Returns came out, what was the problem with that?
Ian, problems with Superman Returns?
Superman Return doesn't work because they turned Superman into a stalker. In that he was a stalker. He was just basically, spying on Lois all the time, wasn't he? Floating in the sky, spying on Lois. But also, also the fact that the film wasn't very good. It was like half it was just stalkery stuff, and then we found he has a better child, and then we find the child throwing the piano and all that nonsense, and just basically getting Kevin Spacey to play Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor again. Do you know what I mean? None of it works. And that stupid costume of his was just absolutely ridiculous. Wrong colors, short boots, small, tiny, whiny pants. We know why, because obviously yeah. Anyway, I won't even go there. But you know, and everybody keeps saying that random, what's his name, Ralph looks like Christopher.
Yeah,
Reeve.
Brandon Ralph.
He looks nothing like Christopher Reeves as far as I'm concerned. Absolutely nothing like him.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, but
he channeled him though, didn't he? A little bit.
Yeah, but he shouldn't have, because you can't be Christopher Reeves in that movie. You've got to find your own. You got to find your own Clark Kent. You got to.
And they even used the original, the John Williams theme. Actually, they used that one because I watched the plane scene on YouTube this afternoon. Because when I was a kid, I really liked that scene. I still like it. I still enjoy it, but it was so weird, honestly.
I mean, nothing. There was nothing original in that film. He just copied he tried to copy beat by beat what Richard Donner did. Like, Superman saves a helicopter. This time it's a plane. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, well, couldn't we not find a decent story instead of just rehashing the first one about, what is it? Lex Luthor wanted land again.
Yeah.
Like, well, what's that all about? Why does he want land? And then he turned it into Krypton with spikes and stuff. And also Superman's been weak by kryptonite, yet he has the power to lift that whole thing and toss it out into space. And you're like, well, he wouldn't be able to do that if it's got kryptonite on it, would it? I mean, he just wouldn't be able to do that. But anyway, whatever.
I think I've only seen it once.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to watch it again.
I saw it when I was a kid on TV, and that was about it. And I just preferred the original Superman, to be honest.
I think, if I remember correctly, everybody was looking forward to it at the time, and it just boring. You go, Nicky Rellahan for £5. That's real money, folks. When Brown moves on, it's like him falling out of bed and landing on the other side instead. Sorry, mate. Romeo Tango November Zulu for £2 New Zealand dollars. There are only 3 indie films. What is that? Ab
Eternal?
I don't know.
For eternity, maybe, I think. Might be.
Okay. Well, there are 3 proper indie films. Okay, so let me just get rid of that. Bear with me. So I think the writing's on the wall, isn't it, for indie? It's just going to be a massive, massive bomb.
They should never have made it. They should never have made it. Seriously, they should never have made this film. It's a disgrace. But what is the biggest disgrace apart from Kathleen Kennedy is Harrison Ford. How Harrison Ford could allow this to happen to a character he says he loves.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. If you're going to make a proper Indiana Jones 5, you would have Short Round in it because he's a man of, he's an older person now. You would try and include, other people from the series.
Yeah.
That's what you try and do. But no, they decided to ditch all of them and have this horrible Walla name is Bridge in it. And that's what they've done, so.
Here you go, folks. Norfolk and Chance. If you want another great indie story, just play Fate of Atlantis. It's so great.
See, the thing about this Indiana Jones film, and I keep saying this especially about the fourth one, is that the 3 of them had spirituality involved in the 3 of them. Yeah. To take that away from the Indiana Jones films, it becomes something else, and it's been proven by the last film before this one that it was Indiana Jones, but it wasn't Indiana Jones, if you know what I mean. And this one's even worse.
Here you go, Iceman. He had 20 million reasons not to care about it.
Doesn't he get, I don't know, weren't they saying on BSUP or something that he gets taxed like 50% of it or something like that? So in the end, he only gets 10 million?
Still not bad though, is it?
I mean, yeah, I would accept. Well, I wouldn't really if it's to kill the character. Well, I don't know. Harrison Ford has money, but what does he need 20 million for to destroy another character? He's done it with Han Solo already.
But it's possible he might be under contract with Disney because he's playing the Red Hulk soon, and he's taking over William Hurt's character. So it's going to be interesting to see how he does that. I mean, he's 80, but he's still fit, and I do like Harrison Ford as an actor. Lord knows what he's like in real life, but I think he's a decent actor.
He's charismatic on
yeah,
screen.
I don't know about it now. I don't think he's charismatic now. I think he can act, like as I said in another stream, the bit where he was talking about how his son got killed in Vietnam. That was a great performance, but what he was saying was absolute bollocks. But it was, you can see that, you know, the man can act, you know. So I don't know.
I agree. But honestly, the worst thing is that well, since I'm doing the review, I actually went back to watch documentaries on the entire makings of the first 4 films, and I found Harrison Ford. He's saying, "Oh, what he says." One of the things that people love about Indiana Jones is his unwillingness to give up, and he's always wanting to fight. He's always wanting to go on the hunt. And it's like, what happened to Dial of Destiny? He just wants to die at the end of the movie. Where did all that go?
Stream killer.
Yeah. Well, they should have stuck to the core themes, because the first 3 films were religion based, weren't they? Each of the artifacts were from different religions, and then they went into aliens with Crystal Skull, and now time travel with Dial of Destiny, and they're just turning it into something it's not, and that's why it's not gelling with people.
You go, Iceman. Harrison Ford will forever have my respect because he's in Raiders and Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Both great movies. It will be interesting to see just how much this film loses.
You think it's gonna lose more than The Flash?
I think, yeah, possibly, because it costs more, didn't it? So
True.
We'll find out this weekend on the second weekend box office. It's just fucking depressing. Sorry, folks.
It reminds me of a joke that I saw online. Was how do you create $1 million IP? And that's to give Kathleen Kennedy $1 billion IP.
Unbelievable.
Mission Impossible. Okay,
this dropped before we came on. I just thought, okay, we'll put it in. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 debuts with 100% on Rotten Tomatoes with 54 reviews. I think probably the first time I've ever believed Rotten Tomatoes.
I don't believe anything Rotten Tomatoes says, and I don't care what film it is. There is no film out there that is 100% perfect.
No.
And critics these days are dishing out 100% reviews like they're sweets.
Yep, that's true.
Every single film has something wrong with it.
Even the ones that you think are perfect always have something wrong.
Yeah,
they always have something wrong. There's always a missed thread or a plot hole or a bit of dialogue that doesn't make sense. Every single film has got its flaws. There is no 100% perfect film. So critics on this, absolute bollocks.
Well, I have a updated number for you, Mr. Brown. It's with 102 reviews, it's at 98% right now.
Okay, it's not bad, is it?
Yeah, still good.
Eager folks, Iceman, me and the girlfriend are watching it next Sunday on IMAX. So nice.
Very nice.
It comes out early over here. I think here it comes out this Sunday, actually. So in a few days, there's a early screening for it, but it's in French, so I'm not gonna go see that.
You want the English?
Oh yeah, I'd never pay money to go watch a movie in dub. I think the at least subtitles. Even though I speak French, it's just it's not the same.
Ian, you looking forward to this?
Yep, very much so. It's going to be good, I reckon. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be good. You know what you're going to get when you watch Mission Impossible. I mean, they've been really good for the last 3 were really good. really good. You know, really good.
Yeah, this is a bum on seat for me. I'm definitely going to the cinema for this one.
You go, Jim D. 10th of July, IMAX 320 is in. Sorry, chat moved up. Where are you? There was another one there. I'm missing it. Iceman comes out Tuesday nights in Germany.
Yep. Yeah, well, I just think that it's gonna be great. I mean, Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise, their duo has never failed. Honestly, I just think that they've been making great movies since they teamed up together. So I genuinely can't wait for this one. It's probably the movie that I want to watch the most this year.
This and Dune or Dune 2 for me.
I still haven't seen the first Dune. Sorry, Mr. Brown.
I apologise. It's really good. Here you go, folks. Romeo, MI7 is going to be great. Fallout was terrific. I'm really excited about it. Out on the 8th. Oh, nice. In New Zealand, bring on Cruise Control, yeah. Oh, I'm really looking forward to this. It's going to be great, isn't it, Zee?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Tom Cruise is the last great action hero, isn't he?
Yes.
No one's really coming up close. I mean, I suppose you could say Chris Pratt, but
it's the stunts that makes him the action hero. Chris Pratt, I mean, well, the reason is that Tom Cruise produces his own movies so that he can make the stunts in his own movies. So I don't know if there's, I mean, I don't know if there are gonna be any other actors that will be able to do it on the same level as him and take those risks and have a studio behind them to accept them taking those risks. I don't think that we're gonna see that again.
But the Mission Impossible series has not only got a good lead, but it's also got a good supporting cast because I love his team. The last 3 movies, he's had a top team. Ving Rhames,
Simon Pegg.
I forget the other person.
Rebecca Ferguson is now mainstay, isn't she? Who else? No, it's just those 3, isn't it? Ving Rhames.
I think that's about it.
Here you go. Order 50 Fish. Aren't Mission Impossible movies all the same now? Every one of the trailers look identical to me.
I think they've always been the same movie. Honestly, this like a terrorist nuclear bomb or world-ending bomb. We have to get it, infiltrate building, leave, and then boom, take out the bad guy. That's pretty much it.
This one looks like it's you know, it's like the end of the actual organization themselves, the Mission Impossible organization. It looks like that his boss from the first movie is back, obviously, and it's like he's looks like he's the bad guy now. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Oh, here you go. Common people. Haley Atwell is overrated. Changed my mind.
I don't know. I think she's. I think she's just started though. That's the thing, isn't she? I mean, even though I think she's in her 40s now, isn't she? Yeah. I mean, really, nobody knew she existed until Captain America, and that was what? How many years ago?
That was 2008, I think. No, 2000, around 2010.
Yeah. So you know, I mean, she's in relative terms, she's actually just started as being a movie star. So I'm hoping she's got more movies in front of her.
You know, hopefully.
So, yeah.
You go, Willy coptering among the Baskervilles. Mission Impossible is basically just James Bond now, isn't it? Better. It's better.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess it is. I mean, when you think about it, though, I remember he, you know, Tom Cruise is basically challenging Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible because if you watch the TV series, it wasn't about one single person; it was about the team, wasn't it?
So.
It was.
And it's also written by Chris McQuarrie and Eric Jenderson, who did Top Gun Maverick. So you know it's going to be absolutely action packed.
100%.
I'm salivating. Here you go. Max Voom Fondel, Get Out, Atwell as two amazing assets.
She does.
Jim D out bonding Bond. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think the Mission Impossible, well, recently at least, they managed to capture a bit of the camp that the older James Bond films had. Sean Connery's Bond, it was a bit campy. You've got Roger Moore's too, it was a bit campy, and it manages to keep all of that and make it fun, but keep it serious too. It's something that Daniel Craig's era completely forgot about. They went too serious, and this was like, oh, okay, cool. But Mission Impossible manages to, I don't know, it has jokes, it makes you laugh. The action scenes are also a bit comedic sometimes. And I just think that it really just, it's Bond from the 60s, but modern day and American. There you go.
Okay, we'll move on to the next slide. Still Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible: A Dead Reckoning Part 1. There's reviews starting to filter through now. Isn't perfect, but it takes the franchise to new levels of unbelievable action. Needs to be seen on the biggest screen possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Because a lot of these stunts that Tom Cruise is doing, he's doing practically. They're not green screened. He's actually doing it, and it looks a lot more realistic than the CGI garbage that we tend to find on the screens at the moment. So I think a lot of people are kind of warming back to that, as opposed to the computerized slugfest that we normally get.
I just hope that it doesn't. Sorry, Mr. B.
No, go on.
I just hope that it doesn't, since they say that it's not perfect and it takes the franchise to new levels of unbelievable action. I just hope it's not a John Wick 4 situation where the story is just meh and it's just the action carrying the film. I hope that it still has a compelling story that makes you want to stay and watch.
I don't think Cruise and McQuarrie would let it get like John Wick.
No, I really don't think McQuarrie would ever. I mean, McQuarrie's first film, where like he's credited as the writer, is The Usual Suspects. So and everything he's done ever since has been incredible. So I have all my faith in him.
Here you go, folks. Disgusting film. Bond is another IP that was sacrificed to the woke. It was. And Romeo Tango November Zulu for $5 New Zealand dollars. Cruise broke his leg in a MI stunt and didn't break character. Left it in the film. That's the commitment he has. The helicopter stunts were insane.
Yep.
Did anybody see the video where he broke his ankle and he kept running?
Yeah.
Yep. Unbelievable.
Yeah, man, to think, he's now 61.
He broke his leg, but instead of shouting out, broke my leg, he finished the shot, didn't he? And did he say, it's broke, everybody, that's a wrap, go home?
Well, he what you call it? He's got insurance, isn't he? So
yeah.
the film wouldn't be hurting. It was during the pandemic as well, wasn't it? So
I think that was the previous film, wasn't it? It was Fallout where he broke his ankle.
It was.
It was when he was jumping between two buildings. I think it was in London.
Yeah, he was in London. But he did manage to finish the scene though by limping out of shot.
Yeah.
So
and then he told everybody to go home.
Well, I mean, he's got so much money and and it's his production, so he could afford to do that. Plus, you hear that story about I can't remember who was asking him. He said, how comes you're allowed to do all these stunts? And he said, well, he asked one stunt guy, could he do this? And then the stunt guy said, no, absolutely not. So he fired the stuntman and got another stuntman. So that's what he did. So you know what I mean? So and he got another stuntman to say yes. So that's it, isn't it? So that's how he dealt with it. Put it that way.
Tom is the best, the last action hero, the true last action hero, not Schwarzenegger.
He's a bit crazy. You got to think there's hardly anything in his life That's why he makes these films. And he's
I think it was his birthday 2 days ago. He was the
61, is he?
Yeah, 61. Yep. I think on his birthday he was doing the Australian
premiere.
Yeah, and he was working the crowds, and it just, you know, he never rushes speaking to people, and when people gives him gifts, you know, he talks. I think this young lady gave him something that was embroidered or crocheted or something. It took time to make it, and he spent literally 5 minutes talking to her, and he looked genuinely humbled. He is a great movie star.
Mm.
Is he going to make $1 billion?
No. For me, no. Honestly, I think that it's going to make 890.
Still not bad, is it?
That's my bet.
That's not bad at all. I mean, he'd probably be very happy with that.
He would.
So, Uninspired, you're saying 890, yeah?
Yeah, probably between 800 and 900, but I'm leaning more between 850 and 900. So 890 for me sounds plausible if you consider the track record of the past Mission Impossible movies.
What do you think, Zee?
I'm going for a minimum of 800 million. Definitely.
Yeah. Here goes, Zee. Are you available to read this?
Billion with a B from Iceman. I'll read the next one from Tim Hannibal.
Okay, I'll put that in reserve. Ian, how much do you think it's going to make?
It's not going to make $1 billion. It might. I don't think it's going to make $1 billion. I don't know how much it's going to make though. I'm useless when it comes to things like this. It's going to be a success though.
Yeah, there's a lot of Top Gun Maverick goodwill behind him. Zee?
Tim Hannibal says in the chat, 1.2
around the world
billion.
Holy cow.
Andy, 912.
That's oddly specific.
Zee, are you available to read this?
John Z says, I'm going up for 1.4 billion.
I think
I'll
you
be
broke
amazed if it does.
I'll take my headphones off for that one.
I think you broke your mic doing that.
Yeah, I probably will do.
Max Voomfondel, $5 billion. Okay, let's do the next slide. And finally, we've got some estimates, folks, of what's coming out this month. This is domestic opening weekend. I'm assuming this is the States. Oppenheimer, 40 million. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, for domestic, I'd say yeah.
Are we going to go watch Oppenheimer?
I'm not.
No?
Not really. In the cinema,
No, I'm not gonna.
No? Yes, no?
No.
Barbie, 80 to 100 million.
Believable. Highly believable. I'd even say more.
Yeah, maybe even more than that. I mean, there are a lot of little girls and gay men out there.
You go, Nikki Rellahan, will Oppenheimer bomb?
It has a pretty low budget, so I don't know. I think it has a budget of 90 million. I'm not sure. I think it's less than 100. So
it'll definitely bomb in Japan, though. Okay, Mission Impossible 7, 90 million.
I think that's pretty low.
Yeah.
I think word of mouth for Mission Impossible for the second week will do well.
This is domestic, so I'd say that it should be higher, especially considering I think Top Gun Maverick, like I think they made most of its money through domestic.
Yeah. Haunted Mansion, I have no idea what that is.
It's the
Disney theme park ride, isn't it? So they've turned that into a movie, and I don't think people are going to be that invested in it. I think it might not even do 25.
It's a remake of the 2003 movie with Eddie Murphy. I remember watching it growing up. It wasn't that good, but yeah, I think that this is another flop for Disney on the list.
Insidious: The Red Door sounds like a horror film, is it?
It's the fifth Insidious movie. You don't know the Insidious movies?
Pass.
Yeah,
horror is not my bag.
No, mine neither. It's my least favorite genre.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I would go watch a Halloween movie without hesitation.
Yes, Evil Dies Tonight. There we go. That was a massive disappointment.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I think that is it, folks. There you go. In fact, I know it's it. Do we want to continue, or is that it?
We can continue if you want.
Yeah, I'm here, honestly.
Yeah, what are you going to talk about, Brown?
Right, okay. Chat, help me out here. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Life? The meaning of life?
Yes. The meaning of life. Well, isn't that Monty Python and the meaning of life? At the end, he just gives all the cues away, what it means to have a great life. Do you guys like Monty Python?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Here you go. No, don't stop. That's what she said.
I mean, I haven't watched anything else this week, apart from what we've gone through already.
Neither have I.
It's been very sparse on the entertainment front at the moment, and what we do get is not very good.
Here you go, folks. Organising a Leeds meetup. Yes, we need to organise something. If people are in Yorkshire or in Blighty, we need to sort something out before summer's over, don't we?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I will ask the questions. I will ask the question this week then, folks, and we'll figure out what's going to happen up with a UK meetup. Here you go, folks. Guy 4X. Flash being pulled from loads of cinemas.
Oof. Yeah. Well, I mean, just look at how nobody's speaking about The Flash since Indiana Jones has been flopping. The Flash is absolutely dead.
Which is the better movie, though?
Flash.
Zee?
Between Indiana Jones and The Flash?
Yeah.
The Flash.
Ian?
Well, sorry, what was the question? Sorry.
Best movie between what's best, Flash or Indy 5?
None of them are good. I guess Flash just picks it by the post, but for fun. But that's about it, really. There's a lot of problems with the Flash, isn't there? So
yeah, but it's enjoyable. Like it's just a fun
I enjoyed
watch.
It, yeah. Here you go, common people. Just a flash in the pan. It was. Franco, we must have a meetup. Stream killer.
Well, where is Franco though? Is he in England? Is he what country?
I think he's in Yorkshire.
Ah.
I'm sure that he's near me, to be honest. So we'll probably have to do it on what, Friday, perhaps, or what do you think?
What's that? Sorry, say again.
We're thinking about doing a meetup in the UK.
Where though?
I know that's the problem. We need to do. I'd like to say Leeds because it's local, but then I don't mind travelling.
It'll be a nice trip for you.
You're not going to fly over uninspired?
No, honestly, I have enough people to deal with over here with all the riots and the loots. It's nice. Changes the scenery a bit, everything's on fire. Looks good.
Right. Okay. So come on, guys. You need to start talking about something you want to talk about.
I'm stumped.
Well, I mean, you know what? I could talk about something that I liked watching a couple of days ago.
Go on then.
It's a really
porn,
old,
is it?
No, it's a really old. It's an old film though. That's the thing, and I don't think you guys.
What? Old films?
Yeah, I watched Casablanca a couple of days ago.
Oh, nice.
And I really still think it's a brilliant film. It really is fucking fantastic if you look at it very carefully. It's so well lit and it's so well paced, and performances are really good. And even though it's very theatrical for its time, you know, the acting a bit theatrical, but it was the time. And as I said, you know, watching it again, I watched it at Christmas a couple of Christmases ago, and then I watched it again, and I still think it's an incredible piece of filmmaking. Personally, you know,
I don't think I've ever seen it fully.
Yeah, majority of it's talking.
Yeah, here you
but
go.
It's still a great movie.
Yeah, Fiona.
I agree.
Fucking brilliant.
I agree. I love Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman. I just love them in the movie. I think that everything is the story in itself was also something that I really loved. But at first, I watched it when I was younger, since they were only talking and stuff. I got really bored and fell asleep at least 3 times. But I rewatched it about a couple of years ago, and I absolutely adore this film.
I mean, a lot of people don't see like there's lots of stuff in there that just goes over people's head, like the actual lighting of the thing. There's one scene in it where Humphrey Bogart goes with I can't remember the guy's name, the French guy, and he goes to the safe, and all you see is his shadow opening the safe. And I'm thinking, you know, gosh, they don't do things like this in movies today. And when Elsa was hiding in his apartment, and she's in the shadow, and when he opens the door, when he opens the light, lights her up. It's things like that. I think it's just pure filmmaking. That's when people used to know how to make movies.
It is.
So it's just, you know, it's just, when I watched it again, I loved it even more, you know, even though it's got model work in there, most of it's a studio and stuff like that, but you can just see the craft of the movie. And I know it sounds boring to everyone, but I'm so in love with the way they used to direct stuff in the old days, you know.
Well, same.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I actually have I do this thing on my channel, you know, TUR's vault, where I only talk about exclusively black and white cinema from like the 1920s to the mid 50s. I just adore movies from that time period since I was a kid. And it's weird, you know, saying this as a 21-year-old that you enjoy watching black and white movies as your guilty pleasure. But yeah, I do.
I've just found a new way of looking at movies now, and it's through the 40s and the 50s, and sometimes even the 70s movies, where you had geniuses making movies. They do things in films that you just don't notice. You just subconsciously read it and stuff like that. And Casablanca is just one of them that does a lot of stuff. There's a scene in it where the camera basically Humphrey Bogart is sitting there because obviously the love of his life came into his life, and she looks like she's gonna marry this guy, and he's sitting there and he's like he's all upset and everything, and the camera pans or tracks towards him, but it doesn't track towards him, right? And then they have a flashback. It tracks to him and then it stops, and it's like it's saying, do we really want to go there? And then and then we track towards him, and then suddenly, you know, we get the flashback. Do you know what I mean? So it's honestly, it's a masterclass of how to make a movie 101. If you watch that film, as I said, I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but if you know about filmmaking, you know that this film is fucking great.
Here you go. Actually, Andrew, what's your favorite color? Well, brown, obviously. Actually, Andrew did a review of Indy 5. And he was very dismissive of the filmmaking of Spielberg, saying he didn't really know what he was doing, and just because it was in the 80s, people look on it really fondly, and they were basically saying, get over ourselves, it's nothing special. What do you think, Ian, to Spielberg's filmmaking of the 80s?
I think Spielberg's a genius, personally, as a filmmaker. and his and his movies of the 80s is absolutely fantastic. Especially Close Encounters is the film that made me want to become a director. If you look at that film very carefully, it's really well directed, incredibly well directed. It reaches you subconsciously. So, you know, him and Alfred Hitchcock, as far as I'm concerned, are probably the best ones to follow, as if you want to be a director, that is. That's what I think anyway.
Here, folks, Iceman, I love To Kill a Mockingbird so much. Too. Gregory Peck is just amazing.
I've never seen it.
It's a good film. It's a good film. You know, was it 12 Angry Men's a good film as well?
Oh, I love 12 Angry Men.
Yeah, it's a terrific movie. Again, as I said, you know, I can't really. I haven't seen that one. What's that one?
Rashomon, Akira Kurosawa.
Oh, I haven't seen it. No, I need to watch those films. People keep telling me I need to watch them. The films that I don't think are great is 2001: A Space Odyssey, which everybody keeps saying it's terrific, but I find it really dull. I think it's well made and stuff, but I find it really dull. But that's just my opinion.
Unbelievable, crazy man you are.
Do you like it? I don't know.
Yeah, I like it. Smilex Psycho.
It's like, honestly, my favorite Hitchcock movie is it's Rope.
Rope, yeah.
Yeah, I love Rope, and I love James Stewart. James Stewart is actually my favorite actor of all time. Yeah, it's really weird, but yeah, I just I love him so much, and I think The Rope is one of the best movies, and I just love that he's always worked with Hitchcock. You know, Rope, Rear Window, North by Northwest, also.
Yeah,
I just love it.
I think I think what you call it, James Stewart. He's starred in so many good movies, especially the Hitchcock ones. But obviously, for me, I'll always remember in It's a Wonderful Life.
Yeah,
that's the movie that comes to mind every time I think of him. You know,
it's true.
Yeah, It's a Wonderful Life is a terrific movie as well. I mean, that was a big flop when it was released.
Huge flop, actually.
Huge flop, yeah. That nobody went to see, and now it's you know, now it's held as one of the greats. You know, yeah. What else I've been watching? I've watched. I'm watching. Do you know what I'm watching? God, what is it called? It was produced by Robert Zemeckis as a TV show. I think it's old, but I just happen to watch it now. It's about the plane. So basically, the family gets onto the plane and they fly to, and then they land. But when they land, it's 5 years later. The plane was missing for 5 years.
Manifest.
That's it. Have you guys ever watched Manifest?
Not me.
No, it's quite intriguing actually. I'm pretty sure that the idea is going to get a bit stale because it's just a one-note idea. But basically, what happens is that a family's waiting at the airport, and they say that the plane that's taking them back, because they went to Jamaica, the plane's taking them back to New York is full. So some of them have to take the next flight. So the family gets split up, and the mother and the daughter gets onto the plane, and then the father and his son, who's suffering from cancer, gets on one plane. And then when they're flying, it's just normal. And when they land, all these police cars turn up and stuff like that. And they're like, what's going on? Apparently, when they were flying, they were missing for 5 years. And then they turn up, and they're like, you've been missing for 5 years. And it
wasn't the snap, was it?
No. Yeah, could have been. But to them, it was just an ordinary flight, you know. And obviously, there's things like when he comes home to his wife, she's been, you know, together with somebody else and stuff like that. And it's just, you know, it's complicated. So there are lots of different things. Also, they're hearing voices. Like there's this bit in it where the sister was in a bus, and his voice is telling her to tell the driver to slow down. And she tells him to slow down, and he slows down, and, you know, he almost knocks over a kid. So this voice is telling them that they should do things to stop things, kind of thing. So it's intriguing, but I got a feeling it's gonna run out. It's gonna be a
TV series.
Yeah, it's a TV series called Manifest.
It's on Netflix, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's new. Oh, okay.
No, I don't think it's new.
Oh, okay.
I think it's. I don't know what year it was made, but I think it's
It
quite
actually
old.
it ended this year. Actually,
I did it.
yeah. The last season is season 4. They said that the final episode date was June 2nd of this year. So with 4 seasons.
Okay. Never heard of it.
Mhm.
Here you go, folks. Super chat, Larry. Cheers, Larry. $5. Indeed, you made me look. Cheers, Larry. Appreciate your generosity, my friend.
Oh man, you know Robert Zemeckis actually made the Pinocchio reboot.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, it's
Ah,
terrible.
horrible. I can't believe it. You know, Back to the Future is the movie that got me into movies, and you know, to see him just get to that level, it really just hits my heart. I mean, Back to the Future was a movie that I could quote. Well, not quote. I could actually recite the movie entirely from A to Z, no problem.
Wow.
Oh yeah, I used to watch it so much. You know, like Will Smith and I Am Legend with Shrek. It was the same thing with me. And oh man, I adore Back to the Future so much.
It's a great movie. I remember going to see it and wanting that camera that Marty McFly had, because that was at that moment in time, that was, you know, it was like tiny. You're like, what? Look at this camera, it's tiny. You know, that kind of thing. And I remember, you know, because everything about it was aimed at the teenagers, really, wasn't it? When you think about it, you know, the skateboard, the camera, the car, the DeLorean,
Because
Pepsi.
of him that I got a skateboard. I almost
All
broke my
right.
leg.
And he had the night trainers, didn't he? The night trainers. He had the,
Mm.
you know what I mean? It was just very much an 80s,
It's a great
80s
film.
teen. It is a terrific movie. Absolutely terrific. So
It was fantastic watching when it was re-released for the
yeah.
anniversary on the big screen again with the digital projectors. It was fantastic.
Oh, it gets played like regularly here. They play it once a year, the entire trilogy in one night in the cinema next to
Oh,
my
nice.
house. Yeah, they're actually doing it. I think it's next month. So they play it once a year, the entire trilogy in one night. It's great.
I got to admit, I didn't like the second one. I liked the third one. A lot of people didn't like the third one, but I liked the third
I
one.
like
I
the
quite
third one.
like I quite like the second one because it's mad, but it's good. Ego Romeo Tango November Zulu for $2 New Zealand dollars. Wes Anderson, auteur or poser? Discuss.
I do like Wes Anderson. I think his movies are quite unique. You know, and I think he's very talented. But I want to go and see the latest one. I haven't
Asteroid
had a
City.
chance. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to go and see it. I think he's a good director and he's a good writer. But there's only so much you can do by just having characters just non-plus. Because all the
Yep.
characters in his films are non-plus, aren't they? They
Mm.
don't really get into anything. So anyway.
Yeah, my favorite movie by him is it's the Darjeeling Limited, I think it's called. It's with the Owen Wilson, the one where they go to India and it's like a trio. And I don't know, I just think that's his best movie, and that was like 2007. I feel like he's a good director, but he's he's put himself in a corner where I feel like he has to continually try and keep this aesthetic that he's developed. And I don't know if he pays attention to the script that much anymore and is more focused on just doing, you know, that aesthetic that he's developed.
Here you go, folks. R2, we should do a Back to the Future review. I love that movie. I watch the trilogy every year.
Yeah,
we did those. We did them, didn't we?
I think we did them. Yeah.
I wish I'd kept all the movies I've done. I wish I'd kept the slides, but things you regret not. Oh God Almighty! There is the trilogy somewhere of Back to the Future on the channel. You go, Romeo Tango November Zulu for $2 New Zealand dollars. Manifest equals Lost in Reverse. Should be called Found.
Well, the similarities just by the story. That's it.
I was going to ask, what other than cinema films, what was the last movie you've watched then? Mega Geek, you said it was what?
The last movie I watched.
Yeah, Casablanca. Did you
Just
say?
Casablanca? Yeah. I mean, I saw that on it was on Amazon.
Yeah.
I watched it again on Amazon. So, but I do. I just tired of new stuff now. I literally watched season 1 of Columbo a couple of weeks ago because I love Columbo. So do you know what I mean? That's where I'm going with TV. I can't stand this new stuff anymore because you can't trust them. You can't trust it because majority of it is just, you know, garbage. Really, let's face it. They're playing the same tune all the time. You know. So anyway, I think watching stuff that you know that you like is kind of comforting really. Even I've watched every episode apart from the 80s versions of Columbo. I know what's going to happen. I still enjoy it. I still watching it again, I still enjoy it. So I just think TV shows now is not as good as they're not
We want to watch good stuff, but there isn't any. Here you go. Fear the Hammers for $2. I nearly missed it. Sorry, my friend. Thoughts on the movies Zulu or The Shining? Thanks.
Zulu or The Shining. I think they're both really good.
Shining's great.
I like The Shining, but actually, maybe this may be a controversial take, but I prefer Doctor Sleep, honestly.
What, to The Shining?
Yeah. I don't know. I just prefer Doctor Sleep as a story, except in the third act of Doctor Sleep, it basically becomes a Shining homage the entire third act. But before that, I really think Doctor Sleep is a better film. Maybe not filmmaking wise, but story wise, is more intriguing than The Shining. And I've read the books, both of the books, and seen both of the movies, director's cuts, everything. That's my conclusion in the end.
Z, Zulu or The Shining? Thoughts?
Shining, really. I haven't watched Zulu in over 15 years.
Same,
but,
yeah.
Shining, when it's on, I'll watch it. It's quite enjoyable.
We know somebody who likes Zulu, though, don't we?
No. No, I don't know anybody who likes Zulu. But what I have watched in this last week is the animated movie Nimona, which is on Netflix.
Oh, the new one.
Yeah. It's very well animated. It is a bit gay, but then the original comic was a bit gay. But after watching it, I understand why it won an Eisner Award. It was a very good watch, thoroughly enjoyable. I'll give that one a good old 7 out of 10. So if you like a bit of animation, go and have a watch of Nimona. It's about a little girl who can shape change into animals, who's actually a demon.
She's a demon?
Maybe.
Okay.
Here you go, folks. Franco Walker and Mr. Brown Alliance, that's me. We still haven't done
Blade Runner Empire. We did Empire.
We did Empire.
Yeah, we did Empire, mate.
We didn't. I mean, Blade Runner. Did we do Blade Runner? I don't think we did we?
No, I've been sitting on it for over a year now, just waiting for the time to do it.
Yeah, we did Empire as a battle wank, didn't we?
Yeah, I was going to. No, we've done Empire Strikes Back. I'm sure we have.
No, we did it once as a battle wank where we just went live with a load of slides.
No, I think
you guys actually did cover it.
Yeah, we did
if I remember correctly.
A little clip. Yeah, we did kind of a battle wank and just kind of mentioned a couple of Star Wars films, and then we did Empire as I think we did it as two streams. Unless if I dreamed it, which is possible.
Maybe I did.
I actually remember that stream because you guys volume 160 Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back.
So there you go, Franco. Blade Runner. I was going to invite when the world was good. We were going to try and get Doomcock and Robert Meyer Burnett on the same stream, but I don't think that's ever going to happen now.
Never going to happen.
Yeah, because Doomcock said he would do the Blade Runner review with us. Because and Robert Meyer Burnett said he would as well. Both of them said they were in, but that was over a year ago. I don't think that's going to happen now. But we will do Blade Runner at some point. We've been sitting on it. It would be rude not to do Blade Runner because it is a great movie. Is it not?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I haven't seen it in a while, so I take your word for it.
Hated it at the time
Mm.
because I thought, what the hell is this?
How did I not remember those two Empire streams? I'm on both of them.
Go on. How did you not remember? You were on both of them.
I was on both of them, but for some reason it's been completely erased from my memory. Yeah.
I did do so many of these live streams, you just forget, don't you?
Yeah, but when you're doing your favorite movies, it's like, yeah, I love it.
I think is it true that
Power Surge.
Aspire Love Me got like loads of views, didn't it? Brown, when we did Aspire Love Me.
I think it's approaching 40,000 views.
Oh wow!
For some reason,
yeah, there's something about Aspire Love Me that people just love that film, love talking about that film, or love hearing about people talk about the film. So yeah.
I think we probably need to do a James Bond film before too long. It's just trying to figure out what we should do, really.
We did For Your Eyes Only, didn't we?
Yes.
We did For Your Eyes Only. Do you know what? Nobody's mentioned this. Well, actually, I'd mentioned it before. As I said in the Mission Impossible, copied a few of the James Bond action sequences, didn't they? This new one.
And improved it, yes.
Do you think they improved it? But we'll see, right? We'll see. It's like that nobody mentions that line in GoldenEye that ripped off Die Hard. Do you remember that line in GoldenEye? No.
No.
In GoldenEye, James Bond says to the villain, who's Sean Bean, he says, "You're nothing but a thief." Remember that line he says, and it's the same line that Bruce Willis's wife says to Hans in Die Hard.
Oh, okay.
No,
I'll tell
you
you
don't remember that.
No, I'll tell you a word for that.
Yeah, so it's like, wow, it's like nobody mentions that though. No critics, no. It's really
you do.
But as I'm saying, I noticed these things, right? It literally is lifted it from Die Hard. Oh, somebody should look it up, man.
Okay, moving on. Here you go. Smilex, do a cheesy one. Moonraker. We did Moonraker. We've done it.
We did it.
Oh, you guys have? I'll go watch that.
Go do the Austin Powers trilogy. Do I make you horny?
that humor
is that what you say to Uncle
Owen?
Owen
Today, will it? Would you reckon it? He's making another one, is he not?
Allegedly.
It won't. I got a feeling it won't work today. That humor.
No, I don't think it would.
I think it's gonna have
audiences today wouldn't connect with it.
I think it's hard. I've never seen a film that made me laugh so much out loud yet in the cinema. I think the last film that made me laugh out loud in the cinema was going back. I think it was something about Mary. I think that was the last film that was cinema was packed and people were laughing their head off. I mean, do you remember? I mean, you guys have seen Coming to America, right? The original Coming to America, the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I went to see that in a packed cinema, and people were just crying with laughter all the way through that film.
Nutty Professor was really good. What he did.
Yeah,
I like the Nutty Professor.
But that's what I'm saying. When was the last time you went to see a film and people were just, laughing out loud? I went to see that film with Jennifer Lawrence, which is meant to be a comedy. I thought it was okay, but it's meant to be a raunchy comedy, but I didn't laugh out loud. I sniggered a couple of times, but that was about it.
I'm just trying to think. I think was it Borat? Borat had a couple of funny moments.
Hello, my name is Borat.
But it's embarrassing though, Borat, isn't it? Because he does things that you shouldn't really do, like chase that guy around the hotel completely naked. Remember that was in Borat. Do you remember they were in a hotel room and he did something and he was chasing him around the hotel and they were both naked running around. Do you remember that scene? No, no, obviously not.
No, I've slept. Here you go, Atom Gray and Mr. Brown answers me. How big of a super chat do I need to bribe my way onto Blade Runner? Will a tenner cover it?
You can come on Blade Runner if you want.
If you've got a proper mic, that's the only stipulation.
I like Blade Runner. I only appreciated it when I was a lot older. When I first saw it, I thought it was trash. When I first saw it, I just thought, look, this film, because they fooled us, didn't they? Because the poster had Harrison Ford with a big gun, things flying around. I thought, okay, action stuff, let's go. And it was slow and it was dull to a point.
Here you go. Fear the Hammers. Yeah, a tenner for each of us. Atom. It's going to be expensive, is that, mate?
But as I said, I thought Blade Runner, I appreciate it now because I can understand it now. When I first saw it, I was kind of like a kid, really, or teen. When I was watching it, I didn't really understand the nuance of Blade Runner.
See, here you go. Jada Smith Eyes. I can't imagine Blade Runner in the theatre expecting an action film.
Imagine Blade Runner theatre. The thing is, though, that's the way they sold it. I don't know about you guys. It wasn't an action film. They sold it like that because Harrison Ford just came off Indiana. Oh no, did he do Indiana Jones before?
No, he came off Empire.
Empire
and Raiders Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders. So you're like, okay, well, this is going to be good, and you sat there and you kind of okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So you're like,
yes, Atom Gray. When we do it, you can come on, mate. I think that's it. I think 2 hours is a good
stopping point.
Yeah, I think we've lost the. Do you remember when we used to just turn up and talk bollocks and have a laugh? I think because we've gone so pro or so semi-professional, we've lost the ability just to free riff, haven't we, Zee?
Well, not necessarily. I mean, there's not really a lot to talk about at the moment.
And that as well.
The entertainment industry is quite vapid when it comes to content.
Indeed, it is.
We want something good to talk about.
I've been entertaining myself the last couple of months by watching classic Doctor Who.
And it's all shite.
Everything that's previous crap. It really is. Just I was watching. I accidentally turned over and Casualty was playing. I was like, what the hell is this? What the hell is this?
Oh, folks, where did it all go wrong? How did it end up like this? How did it end up like this, folks?
It's when the corporations took over. That's it. I mean, yeah, honestly, I get fed up with modern movies so much, especially when it comes to, because I'm a big fan of those early 2000s teen comedies, in universities and stuff like that. I'm a huge fan because I grew up on those. And when I see them trying to redo them today, it's absolutely horrible, especially Netflix. They just pump it out. It's garbage.
Shite. See, here you go, folks. Common people. Yeah, we all died in 2012. It's when they turned on CERN.
No, it was the Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
CERN.
All of a sudden, we ended up in the darkest of timelines.
Yeah.
There's another Earth out there that had a fantastic Indiana Jones film. I wish I was there instead.
I think 2012 was the best year of my life. It was just such an incredible year. And then they switched CERN on, and that's it. They had, the collider, and fucked. We're all going down a black hole, aren't we?
Yeah, I think we're there.
Have you noticed how time has sped up since 2012? That's because we're going down a black hole. Anyway, I think that is it, folks. As I said, it's a stopgap of a show to keep the regulars coming in, because I know you guys like you guys are creatures of habit like we are. So once the boys and girls are back from holiday, vacation, we will be back on the Ruin movie reviews. Remember, we've got to get to how many? Is it 3,000 subs?
3,000. If we get 3,000 subs, we will do the entirety of Attack of the Clones in one stream, irrespective of how long it takes.
Yeah, well, it'll be 12 hours maximum because that's when stream.
That'll be a whole week, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully 3,000 subs, folks. So tell your friends about us to do 12 hours Attack of the Clones. This one's for you, Z.
Take my headphones off.
Smilex in the chat says 3 billion subs.
And back on.
And we'll give final word to Fiona Super Chat for $5. Thanks, Fiona. Hail and thanks, Mr. Brown. Let's do 13th Warrior, by the way. My favourite bomb.
Oh, 13th Warrior, wasn't that Antonio Banderas?
Antonio Banderas. Yes.
The man that got shot in Indiana Jones 5. He came on to say hello and then he gets shot. He gets killed. It's like, what?
He barely even said hello. He's just like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Boom.
He came on. He got shot. Guests, thank you very much. Chat, you are wonderful. Always great to see you guys. Always appreciate the interaction. We are nothing without you guys. Uninspired, thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me on, Mr. Brown. It's always a pleasure.
Z, thank you, my friend.
Oh, always love streaming with you guys. So thank you, everybody on the panel, and thank you, chat. We love you.
Cheers, Ian.
Yeah, no worries.
I genuinely now think that is it, folks. So,
bye.
We'll be back at the weekend. Enjoy the rest of your week, everybody. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Adios.
Bye.
Timing.